All right, now we want to get you some analysis on the independent autopsy of Nolan Wells and where this case may head next. CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi joins us now in studio to discuss what we found out yesterday. Caroline, good morning. There was an independent autopsy the family of this 18-year-old had issued or conducted. They made sure that it happened. The results came out yesterday, but it's still inconclusive. What did you make of what it did and didn't say?
Yeah, so we still have an inconclusive cause of death and an inconclusive manner of death, which is frustrating, right? Because it seems like we have more questions than we have answers. Yeah. We do have potentially different questions, I think. Really important to note that, yes, this was an independent autopsy performed by a very well-respected forensic pathologist. However, it was the second autopsy performed on Nolan's body, right? So the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office performed expeditiously their autopsy. We just don't know the results of that yet because they're crossing all their T's, dotting all their I's, waiting for the toxicology report to come back. We just have the benefit of getting these results more quickly. I would like to just set expectations for that. A second autopsy, you're never going to get as much information from a second autopsy as you do from a first autopsy, right? There were inherent limitations here, not the least of which was body decomposition, right? So they noted that the body had been pretty severely decomposed by the time they were able to look at it, such that they couldn't find potential bruising on surface level areas. The first pathologist retained the neck structures of Nolan Wells' body, which is
why would that?
So it's not uncommon. So when you're looking at a potential drowning death, the neck is an important region of the body to see, including those pathways, whether there was water, things of that nature. So, I don't want I have to stress it's not atypical. Even the forensic pathologist that conducted this report noted that that is a typical course of action. But the fact is, when you don't have the full body, you cannot come up with a cause of death or a manner of death.
And you're focusing on something being typical procedure because there's so much attention on this incident. It's heartbreaking. And there's suspicion about if this young man was helped by his friends or if his so-called friends had something to do with his death. This independent autopsy could not rule out foul play. And I understand the results will eventually be handed to a grand jury. So what does this all really mean as far as getting to the truth?
Well, it certainly doesn't rule out foul play, but I think there are a subset of causes of death that we can rule out, right? There was no blunt force trauma to the head, for example, with lacerations, meaning, no gunshot wounds, no knife wounds, indicating perhaps a physical altercation prior to the entry of the water. That being said, there's no way to rule out other potential homicidal causes of death. Look, you have an inherent tension in these types of cases where you have the grieving parents here that lost a beautiful boy. They want answers and they want them now. But the integrity of the investigation really needs to, hinges on waiting until until you have all of the information there in order to come out with answers. And I think that's what we're seeing here, this tension.
Yeah, a heartbroken community, but a general public transfixed by this case as well. Caroline Polisi, thanks for breaking down what we know.